Hey everyone, welcome to the Son of Wanda. Today we'll be reviewing She-Hulk Attorney at Law Episode 5, and I will be reviewing this gut-wrenching, nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat episode. So let's conversationalize. So today, we have gotten the latest episode of She-Hulk Attorney at Law, and it is insane. Let me go ahead and just explain the general premise to you guys. In a world where She-Hulk faces her greatest trial yet, in this riveting tale of how she comes to face her inner demons that no other Avenger has ever even come close to facing the danger of. In this exciting, nail-biting, action-packed, eighth wonder of the world episode, where Titania sues She-Hulk for having the name She-Hulk. Okay, that was a joke, if you guys couldn't tell. This episode was nothing like what I just described. Do I wish it was? Absolutely. But was it? No. But I will be reviewing the real one today. Let's do it. Okay, guys, here's the real review for She-Hulk Episode 5. So, it starts out, and, there's a commercial on the TV, on Jennifer Walters' TV, and it's a commercial that Titania has done about her beauty products called She-Hulk. And the main premise of the episode is She-Hulk having to combat the tyrannical ideals of Titania and combat her logic that she can somehow own the She-Hulk name when it was rightfully Jennifer Walters. Ain't that exciting stuff, folks? Oh man, I cannot wait for the... I'm sorry. No, guys, this no. You don't make a story premise like this. Just no. No. It's not thrilling whatsoever. So yes, the beginning of the episode is Titania has a commercial about her beauty products because she is calling them She-Hulk, and Jennifer Walters is like, hey, that's my name. This hopefully will be a short review because literally the entire episode, I guess the scene after that is her and her best friend going to try to confront Titania about it, and of course, she just rats all of their criticisms off, and then they're in their office talking about, the name and all that. And I will say, in general, I feel like this episode is actually an improvement over the last three. The problem is, if this is the kind of episode that is an improvement on your previous 3 episodes in your show, I hopefully don't need to be the one to tell you that something is very, 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 very flawed about your show. If the biggest improvement of the series is, having a whole episode devoted to, courtroom stuff about name rights, then, we're worse off than we thought. Anyway, there's a subplot in the show about Nikki and Pug trying to find She-Hulk the adequate clothes for superheroing and just going around the office. And then before that, it's Pug's coming to Nikki, Jennifer Walters' best friend, he's like, hey, I want you to come, get in line with me so we can get 2 pairs of shoes. It's the Iron Man 3 shoes that they've had Easter eggs about in the previous episodes, and he wants 2 pairs, one to collect and then one to wear. And I could not stop watching. My eyes were just glued to the screen of how oh my gosh, thrill ride it was. How just immaculate it was watching the 2 of them discuss that. And so they discuss it. The good part about this episode is that everyone's an idiot, not just the men. Legitimately, most of them are just goofing around. Not many people are more stupid than the other. The smartest person in the episode is the lawyer that defends Jennifer Walters, and I must say, the lawyer that defends Jennifer Walters is being portrayed as a insanely better lawyer than Jennifer Walters herself in her own show. This is funny. This is humorous. It makes me laugh. Not the show. But on that note, in this episode, there were a few moments where I did laugh, which is what I went back to about this being an improvement, a slight improvement over the past 3 episodes. And there was a moment where she was like, I'm over it, did the fourth wall. That made me chuckle a little bit. I don't know why. The intro where you have like the She-Hulk logo come up, but then it went by Titania. I'm like, okay, that was clever. And then the one moment where Jennifer Walters first goes to the other lawyer in the office, I believe her name is Mallory Book. Jennifer tries to make a case that Doctor Strange and Thor didn't get sued for using the names they did. And then Mallory makes a pretty good point, and she says both of those people used their actual names. I did honestly think that was genuinely funny, because I knew about Thor, but I didn't even think about, like, oh yeah, Doctor Strange is his actual name and his title. So I did think that was pretty humorous. But yes, literally, you know, they meet Titania. Titania rejects them. They talk more about things that don't matter, and then Pug and Nikki, there's a subplot about them going to find this fashion person, and they come across some knockoff Avengers stuff. Like, one's called a t-shirt with the name Avengers on it, and then another t-shirt with the name Avengers but spelled with an I instead of an E. Just, you know, thrilling stuff, people. Just, you know, just nerve-wracking stuff, people. And so that's the guy they first meet, who's selling all the knockoff Avengers merchandise. And then he ends up connecting them with the real superhero fashion designer, and they are able to get a meeting with Jennifer and this guy, and they eventually meet in the middle of the court crisis. Oh my gosh, my heart, oh man. And the fashion guy at first doesn't want to do it because he says he's like very exclusive, and Jennifer's like, I just need clothes to fit. And so, and then Nikki kind of wants, like, you know, she's trying to emphasize, like, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm hearing myself explain this mess, and I'm kind of baffled at what the words that are coming out of my mouth describing it to you guys. I'm a little starstruck, actually. Like, this is, you know, it makes me cry. Tears of pain and suffering, agony and loss. Makes me ponder the deep, more potent meanings of life. I'm sorry. Whew. This was an emotional episode for the wrong reasons. Anyway, moving on. The dude accepts the offer. What? I mean, that was like the biggest decision of the whole show. If he didn't accept the offer to give her fashion, then, oh man, the world would have kept rotating. Oh gosh, that's just, I don't know if we could have lived with that. Whew, yeah. Anyway, they do the first court case of the lawyer representing Jennifer Walters, and it goes poorly. I will say, I can commend them for one thing, and that is, it's not really commendable. It should be expected, but given the previous track record, I'm like, okay, you actually did it this time. I felt like this is the most logically thought out courtroom scene and courtroom scenes, I guess, of the whole show thus far. Like, okay, this makes sense. The way it operates, like the judge is not an idiot this time, like the other judge was in the last episode with Wong. Like, this judge is not an idiot. This judge actually acts like a judge. Wonders never cease. And there's, debate back and forth. It's like, the whole debate is Titania says she trademarked the name She-Hulk because Jennifer Walters clearly did not want the name She-Hulk. That's another thing I don't like about the episode, is that I feel like for some reason they keep treating it like it's the biggest crime ever to call her She-Hulk, even though that was her name in the comics. But, Jennifer Walters in one of the videos says it's reductive, apparently. So, there's that. So, that's Titania's argument. Mallory, the lawyer representing Jennifer, her argument is that She-Hulk was already going by the name and had accepted the name before Titania started using it for her beauty products. And these are the jokes, kid. And the judge needs more evidence. Lo and behold, again, smart judge. This is groundbreaking stuff we're dealing with here. She needs more evidence from Jennifer Walters' side to be in favor of them and not Titania, because at that current moment, Titania was making the better argument. And so stuff happens. I think after that is actually when Jennifer first meets the fashion guy, and then Jennifer ends up seeing the date she had in the last episode, the guy that I mentioned who was talking about, can your skin be pierced by vibranium and all that? And I did think it was very interesting that they even thought to bring him back. I did wonder if that, all the stuff he was talking about before, and the fact that they thought to bring him back at all might mean something, but the show, who knows? Unpredictable, right? But anyway, you see the dude again. Later, Nikki and Jennifer are talking about it, and Jennifer realizes, oh wait, I can use my former dates from the last episode, who, all dated me because I was She-Hulk, because I put my dating profile and I put She-Hulk. There can be witnesses to the fact that I was using that name before Titania chose to trademark it. And then she realizes it's embarrassing. I did kind of laugh at the switch of her mood. She was like, at first she was like, yes, I can use this to beat my court case. And then she realized, oh, I have to embarrass myself for the world to see. Anyway, they have all the previous dates be witnesses in her court case. They each give their accounts. They're, of course, all idiots, except the doctor guy. He's really not an idiot. But it is interesting because he does admit to the court. The lawyer asks him, she says, would you have dated Jennifer Walters as Jennifer Walters and not She-Hulk? Because he saw the profile as She-Hulk. And he even says, he's like, to be honest, no. I am not really into Jennifer Walters, her type of woman, but I am into the She-Hulk type of woman. And I did, and you can see the mixed emotions on She-Hulk's face. She's like, yeah, I mean, at least he's being honest and helping with the court case, but I do kind of feel sad now. Which, again, is completely understandable. I do think there was kind of a missed opportunity there to explore something deeper with that. Like, in the first episode, Hulk says to her, like, you don't have another guy to deal with? But in a way, She-Hulk is kind of another personality because she's a lot more confident. Jennifer Walters is a lot more mild-mannered. I guess in her dating life, it is very different between Jennifer Walters and the She-Hulk personality, and the differences between the Jennifer Walters character and the She-Hulk character. So that is an interesting idea to explore, how even she has to deal with the duality of it. That would be an interesting thing to explore, but they really don't, hardly at all, except for those few lines. And we are 5 episodes in, and she's still complaining about being She-Hulk. She's still saying that, oh, I just want to be Jennifer Walters. There's literally been no growth. There's just been hints at her maybe growing in the future. But we're now over the halfway mark of the series. We have 4 episodes to go, and nothing has happened with her character. A bunch of random stuff. In short, the arguments from the Jennifer Walters side of the case succeed. The witnesses, their idea worked. They win the case. Titania can't use the name She-Hulk anymore. Titania says, I'll get you back for this, which I guess is going to become a revenge story later in the series. Like, she's going to come back to haunt Jennifer Walters' nightmares because she lost the rights to call her beauty products She-Hulk, and she had to recall them. I have criticized Iron Man 3's villain plotline before about, Aldrich Killian's motivations. But if these are Titania's only motivations for hating She-Hulk and wanting her dead or whatever, Aldrich Killian will look like Thanos. Anyway, she wins! Jennifer Walters wins! Yes! Oh man. Such a big weight was lifted off my shoulders and my heart and my intestines because of all that. That was a great moment. Anyway, she leaves the courtroom. She asks the Mallory girl if she wants to hang out and get a drink, and she says yes. I don't know why. I guess Jennifer Walters thought she was cool and so wanted to hang out with her and be friends with her. And they do, and they talk about how men are idiots and their boss is an idiot. And awkward stuff happens, and then they depart. And then the biggest moment of the episode arises, where Jennifer, as She-Hulk, goes to the fashion guy. He has made all of her stuff. It is implied that he did indeed make her a superhero outfit, even though she didn't really want one, because she doesn't want to be a superhero. And she lets her go into the dressing room to try all those on. And then he goes out, and then he goes somewhere else in the fashion shop, and he sees this box lying on the counter, and he's like, we have to respect the confidentiality of our consumers. And he's like who put this there? Who just left this lying around opened? He sets the box down, and you see the gold Daredevil helmet inside of it. And that is the last scene of the episode. There's not even a post-credit scene this time. Praise the Lord. But yes, that is the last scene of the episode, is you see Daredevil's helmet. So clearly the next episode will, very likely have Daredevil. That will be the episode where he cameos in, is episode 6. And apparently this fashion guy is designing for him now. Like I've said previously in my videos, I've been, watching the Daredevil series. It's one of the best things. It's such a good show. The show isn't. And so I'm very curious to see how those things are going to come together, like good stuff and not good stuff don't usually mend well. I mean, I know that opposites attract, but I mean, maybe not in this case. We'll see, though. We'll have optimism. So that's my review of She-Hulk Attorney at Law episode 5. It's exciting stuff. This show has broken so much ground on character development and, just character depth and good story and good writing, good script writing. It's just like, it's a present to the fans. Oh wait, that's Daredevil, right? Okay, I'm sorry. This is a She-Hulk review. I forgot. Well, we shall press on. We shall continue with our She-Hulk reviews. We can throw up when we wish. We can cry our crocodile tears when we must. And we can mourn our losses if need be. But I'm also hoping for a great next few episodes. That would be awesome. Thank you guys for watching my review. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell for notifications. We'll see you next time. May the Lord be with you. May the Force be with you. And goodbye. That's a wrap.